Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So today we have new coloured images of Transformers masterpiece Starscream from Takara. This is their new update for the masterpiece line of a previously released character, and I have to say they absolutely knocked this one out of the park in my opinion. I'm a big fan of the Starscream character, and I thought personally the Earthrise mold that we got for Starscream, particularly in Jet mode, was a very difficult one to beat, but I have to say they've pulled it off here. I think the alt mode here looks absolutely stunning, and I'm a big fan of the coloration that we see throughout this Jet mode. However, in my opinion, it gets better. We are given blast effects, which I think really bring to life the scene of Starscream flying, particularly in that 1986 movie when he is chasing down Springer and telling him that there was no escape. I thought that was a brilliant scene. I'm a big fan of it, and I have to say I can nearly hear Chris Latta screaming at Starscream in that scene. I think that this is really nice to see effects being added to these figures, and I think with the recent effects being added to the Earthrise line and to some of Hasbro's other lines, I say Takara is looking at that and saying, oh, that's a good idea, and that gives a more viable and playable and very much lifelike look now to the figures in my opinion. Here we have some of the accessories that come with Starscream. We have some alternate faces that come with Starscream. Typical Starscream faces. I think that smirking face is absolutely perfect. I think that that is the best face of them all personally. We have a drill bit here that goes into Starscream's hand. We have a piece of rock. We have a claw. We have two blasters. We have Megatron in gun mode. And we have our blast effects along with a stand. So currently, as I've seen on one retailer, it seems to be retailing for around $250 currently. Whether that's the release price, we'll wait and see personally, I think. The next image we have is of him in robot mode, and I just have to say that this looks absolutely beautiful. I think the head sculpt looks absolutely outstanding. I think that the fact that these are a faceplate really helps, and I have to say it really looks like nothing is removed from it, so I'm really happy with that. And Takara's point of view, I think that that's really worked out well. The hand gestures, the articulation looks absolutely outstanding. One thing that they did not show us though was a back shot, so a shot from the back to see what sort of kibble is perhaps on his back. So when I don't see shots like that that show the back or show him from side on, I'm a little bit curious as to see what's going on there. Now, there could be other pictures that are floating around of him stood sideways or from the back, and I'd say, and I pretty much really hope that the kibble isn't too bad, but I have to say front on view on this guy looks absolutely beautiful. If this came out in the RED line, which is just a robot version of a Transformer, I would be very much so happy with that, because I think that this looks absolutely outstanding. I think the coloration on him looks absolutely beautiful. When I seen the grey prototype, I thought it was going to be a little bit squat, but I have to say, seeing it in colour really adds to it. I'm absolutely excited for this guy. I'm hyped. So as we can see here, we're getting a little bit of a demonstration of the articulation. He looks like he has a nice butterfly joint. He has those double elbows. He has a nice shoulder joint as well too there. It looks like he has some sort of ab crunch, which is very interesting given the fact that these are masterpiece toys. You wouldn't expect him to move too far forward. He has his hip skirts come out of the way so that he can raise his leg, and it looks like he has some ankle tilt as well too. So this looks like a pretty posable figure, and I'm very happy to see that. The blast coming from Megatron, just, that's even reminiscent of the scene in 1986 as well too, when they board the Autobot shuttle. It's just, I have to say, these blast effects that are coming with these figures really stand out and make them look really nice. I'm not sure about this face sculpt personally. This looks like maybe Starscream when he seen Galvatron and asked him who he was, and then was eventually dealt with by him. I personally think that they missed an effort by putting in the crown, the cape, and the shoulder pads into this set. However, I do think that this is Takara and they do know what they're going to do, and I think we will see a black and grey version of this one. We know as Transformers fans, Seeker molds usually get used so much, and I would expect to see a coronation scene Starscream with either some purple effects going through the body to reminisce how he was shot and dispatched of by by Galvatron, and then you get then to see him basically dying. So I think that that could be very interesting to see personally. The last one here we have is an image of Starscream, and he has his rocket launchers coming from his chest. So very interesting. Another sort of showing of the articulation as well too. And I think that this really caps off what's going to be a very interesting figure in my opinion. I'm happy that they're doing more Beast Wars characters and more G1 characters, because I think that this shift towards animation accurate figures is really tickling my fancy. I'm a big fan of this, and I have to say I would continue to buy in. I would say expect Skywarp from this mold, expect Thundercracker. I would expect a coronation scene, Starscream from when Galvatron arrived and dealt with Starscream, and I would say it is a very strong possibility that we could get some of the Rainmakers as well too, given that their set sold very well for targets on their website with the Earthrise line. What do you think about this? Are you going to be purchasing this Starscream, or have you had your fill of all of the Seekers? Do you want to start another Seeker collection after collecting all of the previous ones? Or do you think that this update is enough to drag you in and make you buy this Starscream? I certainly think I will be purchasing this Starscream, as I've purchased the original Masterpiece mold and I did not purchase anyone since then, so I am looking forward to this guy very much so. What do you think of the blast effects that are coming with this? Do you think that they really help to bring, I suppose, a live sort of version of this character really into life? Or do you think that those blast effects are not necessary? What do you think of the stands being included with these figures? Do you think that they really work out, or do you think that they unnecessarily add to the price? I know myself, I like to have my figure standing on the shelf. However, given that this is a character that actually turns into a jet, I'm not surprised to see a stand coming with it, and I suppose you could place him on that and it looks like he's flying, so I couldn't complain about that too much. However, I do think that these stands could unnecessarily add to the prices of these figures. What do you think of the current trend in the Masterpiece line, that the trend seems to be that the figures are going up in price and some of the QC and quality seems to be going down? I would personally love to see the quality start to rise back again to what it was when this line began, and I would certainly hope that the prices of these items start to crawl down a little bit too. We have seen some of these masterpieces, especially US releases, go on discount, so I would be hoping that Hasbro might bring this across eventually along with the other masterpieces, but I think generally because they go on clearance, we might not see too much of that now. Are you going to be purchasing this after the Hound debacle? Because as we can kind of gather now, it seems like the Beast Wars characters are very strongly and sturdily made. However, it seems like the G1 characters have continued to sort of degrade and have problems and issues within those molds. Hound was an absolute disaster, so I'm hoping that they learn from that situation and don't use the same plastic again. I still have not bought Hound due to the problems, and I hope that Takara come out with a response to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy is like in hand. I think they've had a couple of goes now at making a Starscream. This looks like as good as they're going to get it. Do you agree? Or do you think that there's room for improvement again within this mold? I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you drop a comment below. I love engaging with the fans. It's brilliant stuff. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And I'll talk to you later. Good luck.